Princess Margaret never forgave Queen Elizabeth for denying approval to marry divorced lover. Excitement builds as the release of Season 1 of the Netflix series The Crown draws closer. The drama, based on true events, exposes many of the royal family's secrets. One of them may be that Princess Margaret took a grudge against Queen Elizabeth to her grave. Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret smiled and put up a united front for the public their entire lives. The Crown suggests that despite their seemingly happy sisterly relationship, Margaret never forgave Queen Elizabeth for refusing to give approval for Margaret to marry Captain Peter Townsend, a divorced man 16 years the princess's senior. In the most recent promo for The Crown released by Netflix, a young Queen Elizabeth, Claire Foy, privately discusses a loving look Princess Margaret, Vanessa Kirby, exchanged with Captain Peter Townsend, Ben Miles. Many believe Peter was the love of Margaret's life, and when Queen Elizabeth refused to give permission for Margaret to marry Peter, it shattered the young princess's life, and she took the grudge against Queen Elizabeth to her grave. In the sneak peek, Queen Elizabeth is discussing the Princess Margaret and Captain Peter Townsend situation. Her Majesty is reminded that, as Queen, she is defender of the faith. Following this reminder, Queen Elizabeth makes the decision that will destroy Princess Margaret's life. It is my duty to refuse Margaret's marriage to a divorced man, and yet I will be breaking a promise, not only to my sister, but also to my late father. Royal watchers will need to wait until Netflix releases The Crown on November 4th to find out what promises Queen Elizabeth made. Before Queen Elizabeth refused to allow Margaret to marry Peter, there may have already been a frosty relationship between the sisters. The most recent sneak peek reveals that the princess's father, King George VI, may have favored one daughter over the other. Remember what Papa called us? Margaret asks Elizabeth. Yes. Elizabeth is my pride and Margaret is my joy. Did King George VI prefer Margaret to Elizabeth? Lately, it appears that Kate Middleton and Pippa Middleton have become distant. Ever since Pippa announced her engagement to James Matthews, the public hasn't heard nary a word from Kate Middleton. Does Kate Middleton's sister hold some type of grudge against the future queen? Is there a rift between the Middleton sisters that will be taken to the grave?